Hello friends, welcome to Salesforce Cinematics video session 250. So basically in today's video, we will actually cover that co-group part. So you know how we can find the count of industries coming from two different orgs with the help of co-group. We already did that with the help of union earlier. We will replicate the same thing with co-group, something which I told you I will explain in this session, which I didn't cover in the previous session, right? We covered two use cases where, we had some SAQL code written in terms of union and how we replicated the same thing by using cogroup. So let's get started by the last scenario, which was left related to that exercise we were doing. I duplicate this tab once again. Firstly, let's open whatever we covered. So we have covered this simple cogroup SAQL, right? In the last session. Also, we covered this one, total account records, right? So this is the one. Let me directly jump to SAQL. For explanation purpose, I showed you the count, but this is not required. Okay, so this is actually not required. So let me run the query. We were properly getting all the ID and name. And similarly for this one as well, right? We got the total counts. Let me save this one. It's got it scattered. Let me refresh it, not an issue. And let me open that once again. So this one is related to Pogo. And we already did these things with the help of union. So let me open the union part also. I think it's one more thing, total account. Yeah. So this is related to union, the same thing we did with the help of co-group. Then this was related to the total account numbers 1, 2, 3, 2, the same thing we achieved with the help of co-group as well. Okay. Now the last part is how we can find the count of each industry, right, from two orgs. So we found this one, the help of union. Now we will replicate this and find the same result with the help of co-group. So let me do one thing. Let me come over here. Let me open this data set, add data source, the second data set. Let me go to the secure mode. So we need to load this data set. That is fine. Okay, these are the loading part which is done. Now the next part will be u equal to co group. So here, if you see, like we found out the industry, right? We generated the industry and we did a union and finally we did a group by. Now here, what I will be doing is I will co-group by industry. Okay. Be full because I need all the industry from both the data sets and Q2 by industry as well. Okay. Now Q equal to for each Q generate, it will be equal as Q1 dot industry, comma Q2 dot industry, and I need to find the count from internal, right? So I will just write count of Q1 as I've written over here internal count and external count. Okay, so internal count and similarly count of Q2 external count. Now let me run the query. I have not given the spelling correctly. Never mind. First, it's throwing some error. Let's understand what is the issue. So after talking Q1, cogroup Q1, okay, I think this will be pi. I've not written the word pi. There is still some issue. Let's identify coalesce. Okay, I haven't written the as. Okay, as industry. Now let's run the query. Now, as you can see, this count is completely matching 43, 60, 69, 0 with the same thing we are getting over here. Fine. And at last you have usually it is 37,060. The only thing is that I have to mention this none. So what I can do is like wherever it's none, I can just mention that. Like if it's not done by industry, you can mention that as none. Okay. If it is blank, that's it. So the none will come. So in this manner, you can find the count of industries in both the orgs with the help of cogroup. The important function is full over here. This is nothing but the, we have already written in our notepad. That is the outer join. Okay. That is the full outer cogroup, right? So full outer cogroup is something we have utilized over here. And you can see it is exactly matching with this union. You can also check it yourself. So I will just save this lens by this heading and I will just write cogroup. Okay. I can save it in my SAQL. So yeah, that is about this union part. Sorry, co-group part. Yeah, and we understood like how each of the scenario, like this SAQL, simple SAQL, which we did by union, the total record count, which we did by union, the count of indexes, each one of these case, how we did by co-group. That is something I hope it's clear to you right now. Other than this, I have one more thing to explain you. Uh, that is, let's say in this particular scenario where you have this co-group, what I will do is let me just copy this one. I will just explain you a few concepts related to co-group. Let me add the data set. Directly jump to a secure. Let me paste this. Now, as you can see in both the data set, we have this ID and name. So this ID and name will get displayed. Oh, okay. I didn't run the query maybe. Okay. As you can see, the ID and name got displayed over here. Now, let's say I want to display the industry from Q1. Okay. Or if you see, like for this recipe account, I have all this things, right? Like account type. But in my external, I have only these three dimensions, ID, name, and industry. Let's say I want to display the industry from the first section. Or let's say I want to display the type from the recipe account and I want to display the industry from the second data set. Now the thing is that here, if you directly write something like Q1 dot, I know the account type API name already, it's type, okay, it's type. So if I write type, fine. Now the problem is that won't pop up. Like if I just write this part, right? You will see it will throw an error. It's saying inaccessible dimension type. Now, if you have such kind of scenario where you are utilizing this function cogroup, and if you want to display one particular field which is present in one dataset but is not present in the other dataset. Like of course, in right now in this case for this external account, I don't have that particular field type. So the problem is I cannot write over here type. Okay. For obvious reason, because this type is not present in the second dataset. So here eventually anyhow it will throw an error. So for example, if I just write over here, let's say type. Okay. And here also, if I write type, it will throw an error because type is not present in my second dataset, which I just not just now showed it to you. Okay, so that's the thing. So that's not a possibility. Now, in such kind of scenario, what can be done is, remember this thing, that when you have to display an additional column which is present in one of the data sets, then you have to actually do a group by. There's no other option because that is not common. Here, the ID and name is getting displayed because both the fields are common, right? Ideally, that is something by which the definition of co-group works as well. But in this scenario, you just need to write group Q1 by, just write this word type. Okay, that's it. So if you mention this word type, you will see automatically the type will show up. Now, as you can see over here, the account type, wherever you see the values, these are nothing but your recipe account data. So that is your internal log. Okay, that's why this type is coming up. And wherever you see the blank, these are actually from your external log, right? That's why that account type is not coming. I'm not saying that internal type doesn't have that account type blank, but like these are all internal account for sure. We can also check like which are from internal and external in our next videos. But as of now, just understand that this type, which is present in one of the data set and is not present in other, then the only way to bring up is like this manner. Now let's say I want to bring up the industry, for example, okay, from Q2. Then I will follow the same process once again. I will write Q2 because I want to only show the industry from external, but I don't want to show the industry from internal, although the industry is present. Definitely the industry is present, but let's assume had the industry been not present, or let's say the client don't want to see any industry from internal account. So in that case also, like I have to write group Q2 by this, and I have to mention this thing called Q2 dot industry as industry. Okay. Now if I run this query, now as you can see, this industry, these are all external account. Okay. That's why you see all this industry present over here. I will just scroll it down over here. Yeah. Let me just, yeah, somewhere around here, you see, these are all from external log. We can also check that once, like how to know which is coming from which log. We can also create one more column. I will show you. Now from here, if you see, like the industry is coming as blank. But you know, in my external, we didn't had any particular industry which was blank. You can check through SAQL as well, which I did in my previous sections. Okay. So definitely this blank are nothing, but it's just that it's not that it's blank. It's just that the industry field I'm not showing from the internal account. That is the recipe account data set. I'm just showing from the external account. So one key learning from here is that if there is any extra column which needs to be displayed after the co-group is done and it is present in one of the two data sets, then you have to group that particular data set by that particular field which you want to display. Okay. When the fields are common, you don't have to group it in individual data set. You can do it, but it's not needed. It's not compulsory. You can definitely do a co-group. But in such scenarios where one particular field needs to be displayed, which is there only in one data set, then definitely you have to group it by that particular field. Okay. And after that, that process remains same. So yeah, that was an extra thing. Maybe I can just save it as uh, extra fields displayed from both orgs, something like that. Okay. And I can save it in my SAQL. So yeah, that is all about this video. And yeah, let's meet very soon in our next one. Thank you.